To me, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world, because to be on a fighting ship and to be able to serve, and I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. There were a lot of difficulties. We had a lot of problems. It wasn't just being able to do the work, it was being able to overcome a lot of the discrimination. There was quite a bit of that.
89-year-old Charles T. Kelly of Dayton still vividly recalls his days aboard the USS Mason, a warship that carried the U.S. Navy's first all-black enlisted crew during World War II. The Mason, whose officers were white, escorted convoys across the North Atlantic. Kelly, a radio technician first class, remembers the difficulties a black man in the military encountered back then.
It was just a carryover from civilians. That's the way civilians were. And so it carried over into the Navy. It didn't change them just because they belonged to the Navy. They were still bigoted people. If they were bigoted civilians, they were bigoted sailors.
His stepdaughter, Janice James, whose mother, Eleanor, married Mr. Kelly in 1996, gained new appreciation for his service after she read "Proudly We Served, the Men of the USS Mason."
I had never heard of the USS Mason or knew anything about her mission or about the role that it played in bringing about the integration of the services until met Kathy. It's only been fairly recently that I've really come to appreciate the role that it played. Of course, we all know that now they were not only fighting on the war front, but they were also fighting for recognition and their full human rights here in the United States.
In 1995, 50 years after the USS Mason made history, President Clinton awarded a long overdue commendation to surviving members of the crew.
I didn't know at the time. I just thought, hey, that's just stuff that the Navy does. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You get assigned to a ship, you get assigned to a duty, and you just do it. I did not know it was unique at the time. I did not realize that it was a unique situation. I just thought, hey, that's what they told me to do. I do it. If I contributed anything toward that, I'm glad. I appreciate knowing it if I did. Let's say every little bit helps. So if I contributed anything, I'm glad to know it. And I'm glad I was able to do it if I did.